back here today, working on the dune buggy. Got the front end together. It's completely rebuilt. There's the new ball joints pressed in, tightened up, and the steering box is back on. We used the old steering box. I hope it's going to be okay. It has all new tie rod ends, and of course a new paint job too. Steering dampener has been replaced. This wheel here, we had to order an outer wheel bearing because it was shot. So we're going to go around to the back here. We ran into a little snag. These arms, these really cool arms we got off the sand buggy with all this bracing on them, it's kind of problematic. And what we found out is this lower arm right here is in the way of the emergency brake. And so we can't get the right angle in here to get the emergency brake cable on. So we're going to cut it off. So here, the brake cable, this whole housing needs to go into this hole down here, but this bar is right in the way. Okay, we cut the tube on the lower portion of the arm. You can see we've got the emergency brake cable in there and it's bolted down. So there's a piece that we cut off right there. You can see it there and there. All that just so we can get an emergency cable coming through the hole the right angle. Well, we got the wheels on finally. The brake lines are on. Got new brake light switches. Looks good with the wheel. These are Craigslist special wheels. It's just your stock rim with the slots. And so it's looking pretty good. It's all together. We're almost ready to drop the body on. We got the emergency brake lever in. And can't adjust that yet until we adjust the brakes. We've got all the detail work here done. And the wheels. This is IRS 4 lug. Put an adapter on the back so we can use the 5 lugs. And looking at the back here, you see the brake line, new brake hoses. And we even got the little thing to hold the emergency brake cable. And the other side looks pretty good. And we're just about ready to drop the body on. Okay, the big day. We've got the chassis in the shop now, underneath the hoist. The body's up on top, ready to come down. We're gonna, for the first time, see how everything lines up. We put the hoist lift points under the fender, so hopefully we clear the tires here. And we're looking at the body, hopefully coming straight down on the chassis. Hold on, let's just stop right there. Okay, looks like we've got to come down, come back a little bit. And looking at the back here, see how all that lines up. Alright, we set the body down on it, and we can clearly see we need bigger tires. The body looks like it fits on the chassis fairly well. There's a couple spots that are questionable. The outside looks good. So we're noticing in here, the seam looks pretty good here, and this seam looks pretty good. But we notice that here they looks like they cut it a little bit too far. Yeah, it takes us around the other angle there. So we're gonna have to put an oversized washer on there. And once we get this up and holes in, the roll bar is supposed to line up with a couple of the holes. And the back looks okay, a little bit of space there. So we'll have to see what we can do to shim that up or something. We still haven't put the gasket on yet, so. But other than that, it looks pretty good. This one, it looks good. I think the blue paint scheme on the suspension itself looks like a pretty good match. Okay, we got the body on 6 bolts now. A little tough, kind of had to augment the body a little bit, push it out. We wanted to get the flange lined up better, so we ended up pushing it out with a pry bar and some blocks. And we were able to drill out these holes and got it on there. It looks pretty good now. We still have a gap up in the front a little bit, and there's a gap in the back that we have to deal with. I'm hoping that the rubber gasket that goes in here will help close that up. So we put the hood back on, and so we notice there's a little bump here. It's going to have to be filed down, sanded down or whatever, so that this fits a little better. Another thing we're thinking about is some way to hinge this. The windshield attaches to the hood here, and so we want to be able to lift it up and get to anything underneath, a gas tank or any electrical or whatever we might have installed under there. This roll cage came with a little steering wheel mount. I don't know what was supposed to bolt on there, but it's a good start. The dash, pretty plain. We're kind of thinking of trying to stay away from the dash and maybe put a console down below here. I'm in the detail work right now, trying to get the tail lights squared away, make sure they're even on both sides, get the spacing down. We pulled up the roll cage, and we're going to want to locate the holes in the bottom of the roll cage. It should line up with the holes in the chassis, so we're going to tape it off so hopefully it doesn't scratch the side of the inside of the body. And we're going to lower it back down and see how it's going to line up. The steering column, turns out the year we have is 68 through 71, and it's missing parts is very difficult to find. So we're kind of researching different steering columns right now. One of the other things we're working on is some type of hinge system for the front. And we just tried out this plate and these 2 hinges. Not sure how this is going to work out, but we're attempting to make the hood tilt. One of the things we're doing is we notice we got to round off these corners, and then we'll have to scratch the body on the inside when we set it in. And also deburring some of the welding splatter and scratches that are on the body. It's about really to get it ready for paint, just to kind of pre-prepare it. This one here goes all the way to the back, and we found out that it can't really fit all the way back. So we cut this tab off. So we're going to move the hole, make a custom hole in the chassis further in. The reason is the body comes around here too tight, we can't get the last hole in the chassis. We have pulled the body off. We got the roll cage pretty much squared away. And we're going to put the new gaskets onto the pan. We've got the new gasket on. You have to cut your own holes. And you line it up with the holes and mark them, and then using a glue to hold it down so it doesn't move when we put the body back on. And then we'll hole punch out of a piece of tubing and sharpened it so we can punch out these little holes here. And just for alignment, we put the bolts back in just to hold it in place till the glue sets. Back on the dune buggy again. This is the hood, and we've had a little trouble getting it to fit into the body over there. And we've got these tabs in the corner here, probably for bolting it down. And tried sanding and sanding and sanding, and it still doesn't fit. So in another effort, we put this turnbuckle on here to try to pull the two tabs together. Looks like that, and then a turnbuckle. And to the other side, what we came up with, it looks like the fiberglass is too strong. So, as you can see here, we've marked it, and we're going to cut it off and see if we can get it to fit in between the body like it's supposed to. Again, our plan is to hinge the hood in the front here, and if it's solid in the front, then the wind will be blowing it against the windshield, like against the body, so we'll just have some lockdowns inside. We made these brackets for the body. Instead of putting washers, decided to make a bar and countersink the bolts so it look a little nicer. We're not going to mount the roll cage yet because we're still working on the mounting tabs for it. So it had a toolie rack. It came with another car, kind of dirty, but it looked like it fits perfectly, almost. So we have the plastic brackets here, and almost lines up. Oh, you're back at it now. Dune buggy build. This is the seat that came with the body that we bought. As you can see, they're high backs. And we're saving this seat because of the tracks. We left the tracks in the chassis. So what we did is we cut this bar out right here across the bottom, from there to there, because we noticed that we're going to try something here. I don't know if it's ever been done. We're going to try to make low back seats out of high back seats. What we did is we cut this piece out of the top of the back of the seats, and that bar that we cut off of the seat that's over there, we're going to weld this in here with a slight curve back. So it's going to curve back just a little bit. It's a low back seat. We're hoping we can maintain our seat release here. That'd be kind of cool. The main reason we're doing this is because we notice the high back seat in the dune buggy look really weird. They stick way above the body. And again, so this is the seat tracks that apparently has only been made for a few years. And so we're trying to keep those because we left them on the pan. And we're going to convert these to low back seats. And we'll let you know how it goes. Kind of iffy about ordering the seat covers. So we decided to order some low back seat covers. I guess we're good up until like 67. And we'll see how those fit.